We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe Word with Jason Rouse.
The other day we did this on the podcast. We made fake. You know Greg DePaul? He's a comic in Austin.
That's my son.
Oh, cool. That's so nice.
Hey, everybody. This is Jason Rouse, and welcome to the Safe Word Podcast. On the show today, all the way from New Jersey.
Yes, sir.
Jimmy Clifford is here.
What's up?
On the show, and is also a transplant from the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
I started East Coast, ended up going west, then east, and then Europe.
Yeah, so that's real east.
Yeah, I went real
Where'd you go in Europe? London?
I moved to London for 6 years.
That's fun.
That was great.
Did you perform at the Bill Murray?
What's the Bill Murray Theater?
Comedy club. Like just strict comedy club, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's a bar? No. Listen,
Yeah.
I haven't lived there since 2000 and I was there, the last time I was there about 4 years ago, but I don't remember any. I was on a different kind of circuit.
Okay, I went in 2019 over the summer. I just backpacked through Europe for 3 months.
You just missed it, didn't you?
Yeah.
You just missed it.
And I saw like there was the Bill Murray. There was a bunch of really cool spots in London, and it's a totally different type of comedy in London too. You know,
20 minutes.
Yeah,
you do 20 minutes.
A lot more long form
breaks. Yeah, and definitely styles because you're getting people there because it's always been a hub for travelers.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of international audience and comedians.
Yeah.
A different flavor. Like New York also has that kind of thing too, but you're getting people that are more closer to the other side of the planet. Mm-hmm. How long you just backpacked?
Mm-hmm. I had literally just a backpack, and I was on a bus, I was on a train.
How many weeks?
About 2 months.
2 months. That's a good one.
Months. Yeah.
That's good.
But here's the thing. So like one of the things that I enjoyed about London is I think that the audiences are a lot smarter in London.
Well, they invented the language.
Yes.
So they have a grasp
plus
of
they
it.
understand geography. Like no one
Well, they
in
have
the US,
such a history and geography. Yeah, no, because they don't have their heads completely up their asses like Americans do.
So just to prove that your point, I am an idiot, and what I was planning on, I wanted to start my trip in Monaco, but I hit the wrong button when I made the plan, and I ended up going to Morocco.
No,
which is in Africa.
That's such an American thing to do.
I had no fucking idea. I thought I was going to the most wealthy country in Europe. I land and I'm like, this is a fucking shit.
Oh, you got on the flight.
Dude, I still thought I was going to Monaco when I was on the flight. I didn't realize
your ticket? You
I
just
thought it
saw
was the same
Mon
thing.
and Moen.
Yeah, I thought
Maybe they're neighbors.
I thought Morocco was Monaco. That's why I was like, oh, Morocco, fuck yeah,
Yeah.
let's go. And then I get there and I'm like, why is everyone pissing?
You've seen an atlas like a,
No.
no,
Not
you've
at
never
the
looked
time.
at a map of the
Not at the
world.
time,
This is
man.
only a few years ago.
I know.
You know what? Did you go to university over the last 2 years?
Dude, I went to film school, okay?
Yeah.
Like, my parents, they understand what the vibe was.
Didn't you understand like international film? Didn't they teach you any of that?
Nope, none of that.
So you're on your way to Monaco.
Morocco.
Oh, sorry, Morocco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I had to stay there for like
What was the
2.5
hour
weeks.
difference in the flights? Because a 6-hour flight to a 30-hour flight can
No,
be a
no,
real
because
pain.
I think, so Morocco is like pretty much in the same, what is it, latitude
Okay.
of Monaco. So
I'm
like,
dumber than you, by the way, so I'm just smiling.
well, I went, it was pretty
I had
much-
to go.
it
I had
was-
to go to those places.
It was
but-
pretty much like the same 7-hour flight. But then I get to Morocco and I'm just like, dude, this is not what I signed up for at all.
Yeah.
And I went all over. I went to Fez. I went to Casablanca. I went to Marrakesh. Didn't like any of it.
No.
No.
And how many weeks were you there?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Why didn't you just get back on a plane?
Well, because basically I was like, oh, I'm here. I might as well like try to give it my best.
Yeah.
And so I would just bop around all these different cities via bus. And then, dude, this is the wildest part, right? When we took the bus from, I think it was Fez, all the way into Portugal.
High school buddy?
No, just me. I was by myself. I met up with a bunch of Australians there, and because
Yeah.
they're the only drinkers that can handle. So we just went partying.
Yeah.
And we're on a bus, and the bus driver had to keep stopping because African kids will hop in the engine and hold on to the engine
yeah.
to get a ride into Portugal.
Get ground.
Literally, so they have
Yeah.
to keep stopping to make sure that there aren't people in the fucking engine.
They don't do that in trains in India. They do not, right?
No,
Have you ever seen those things?
No, I have not. Because
How can you put 200 people on the roof and 30 inside? Yeah, no.
Because the 30 inside paid.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Really weird.
It's life-threatening travel. And then people complain that the roads are icy, but they've never ridden a train at 100 miles an hour.
Oh my god.
On the roof.
Oh, dude, I couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
You'll appreciate this story. When I was in Morocco, I was in Marrakesh, and I'm at this like hostel, and they're like, "Oh, would you like to go to the day spa?" And I was like, "Oh, I've never been to a day spa before. What is it, like a massage?" They're like, "Yeah, it's a massage."
This is at a hostel was offering
Yes.
a spa. That's suspect right away.
I know. I did.
Can I use these coupons?
Dude, it was $10 US. That's how much it cost.
Yeah.
So I go in and it's just like tile all over. There's no chairs. It looked like the YMCA from hell.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, what's
Like Saw.
yeah, literally like Saw, and it's
Yeah.
just fat African men with their bare ass on the floor with these itty bitty guys in like Speedos rubbing them down with soap and like sponges.
Yeah.
But they don't switch out the sponges. So it's like
No.
Jabba the Hutt gets washed down and then it's my turn.
You got athlete's foot on your back.
Oh my God.
From Peter.
Dude, there was one time where at the end of the massage, they basically just beat the shit out of me the whole time. And then he like takes this glove that he had been using as the sponge.
They just tug and pull your limbs in all different
Literally.
directions. Yeah,
He's
yeah,
just
yeah.
punching me in the back.
Yeah.
He's like flipping me like a pancake face
You're
down
like,
where
can
this
I see
guy's
your name
ass-
tag and your degree, please? This guy's starting to get angry. He's crying while he's hitting me.
Plus, like, it also made me uncomfortable because he's standing up straight while I'm like sitting down.
Why is
And
he in a Speedo? Is
no
it
one
hot?
told me. It's warm in the room, but
Yeah.
like, dude, his junk is just
Yeah.
like a squirrel right next to my shoulder.
Everyone smell paprika?
And so, whatever, I'm like, I'm getting washed down. They take this glove, they put it on me, they put some soap on it, and then they go. I'm like, no fucking way I'm gonna wash my dick with the same sponge that you've
Yeah.
been washing like God knows how many men tonight. Dude, it was fucking horrible. It was my closest thing I've ever been to a gangbang. Like, I called my mom afterwards. I was like, sign me up for therapy because I need it.
But you can counterpoint that. See, that's the thing. When life gives you lemons,
Yeah.
you take a shit on the floor.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You guys want to be weird. You clearly know that I'm culturally probably pretty square, and you've put your nutsack near my face like 7 times. So you're pushing boundaries. And you can pretend that you're the autistic guy from the street and just stand up and just start shitting with your hands over your head, like. And then when everyone starts freaking out, they're like, oh, I guess you guys are weird now. I don't know. Maybe I'm not good at this. Helping people to travel.
Maybe not a big day spa guy, but
No, I've never been to a spa.
no, dude, neither have I. That's the only spa I've ever been to in my life. Never again.
I've been going to spas. I know I've been. Have I been?
maybe some Lower East Side massages.
No, I never like. I actually had my first hand job like a month ago.
Well, to be fair, no one likes a hand job. Like I know
didn't-
me. I know me better than anyone knows me.
Who gets someone to do a job? I can shovel my own driveway.
Yeah.
I don't need you, Captain Hook.
Exactly. They're not going to know the stroke or the speed.
But I'm not. It's not like I'm addicted to hand jobs.
Yeah.
I don't need to go in.
That would be the worst type of addiction, wouldn't it? If you need hand jobs.
I have friends that are fucking. My Jared's addicted to hand jobs.
Him and Robert Kraft, just the two of them.
Do you know Robert Kraft?
Not well.
What is a Robert Kraft?
Robert Kraft is he owns the Patriots. A couple of years ago, he got in trouble because there was like a big sting at a rub and tug spot, and he was
What's
found.
a Patriots? I'm kidding. It's a
football
sports,
team. Yeah.
sports team.
But
I don't watch.
Dude, this guy's like a billionaire, and he was going to like a $20 rub and tug spot in Florida.
Yeah.
It's like fucking pay someone to come to your hotel room.
Eddie Murphy got busted on
a tranny,
Santa
right?
Yeah, with transvestite.
Yeah.
You know, what's his name? The British actor, and he had the supermodel wife.
Not Hugh Laurie,
Huey Lewis in the news.
Yeah, exactly. Huey Lewis. Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant again, but it's not about. Sometimes you just need some trashy hand job,
Yeah.
You know what I
sometimes,
mean?
listen, steak's good, but sometimes you want a burger, you know?
or just hot dog off the sidewalk. I saw someone puke into a pizza box on Santa Monica Boulevard.
That's lovely.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was just half on the road on the sidewalk, and I remember I was just walking down the Improv or something, and there was puke. And I've made jokes about these things, and you've seen them manifest themselves in LA. But you went to LA for 2 days, you said?
Yeah, 2 days, dude. Enough time for me.
So you drove there.
No, I flew.
You flew.
Yeah, because you can get a Spirit Airlines flight for like $50.
And you clearly, this was 2-3 years ago?
This was like 3 months ago.
Oh, 3 months ago. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to visit. I was thinking that you had
No.
before COVID kicked off, that you were considering, well, maybe I'll move to Hollywood.
Oh, no, never. No, dude. If I didn't come to Austin, it was going to be Miami. But the only thing is, I didn't want to be poor in Miami.
Yeah.
Because you can't do anything. You can be poor in Austin, it's fine. But like...
Everybody's poor in Austin, or at least dressed like it.
Exactly.
It's so weird. So weird. They're all wearing clothing that friends of mine had worn in the 80s that they committed suicide in.
Yeah, it's actually the same shirt because they buy it from thrift stores. And,
That's exactly it. They're wearing haunted clothes.
Yeah. It's good. Keep Austin weird.
It's not weird. Be weird, but don't buy someone else's weird.
Yeah.
Be weird.
Make your own clothes.
Go to a spa and shit on the floor.
Yeah, go to this spot.
And act
shit
like
on
you
the
don't.
floor.
I didn't see the rule book on the way in.
To be fair, they did not say that I couldn't shit on the floor. So who's really in the wrong here?
It's the way you do it. You don't make eye contact, and you can get away a lot of things outrageously if you just hold your hands over your head. And just kind of just relieve yourself onto the tiles. And never make eye contact, because then they know that you're doing it to provoke them. You just kind of, what? As the guys are pushing you away out of the room, you're like, is it something I said? I don't know the language.
Yeah, the cultural disconnect.
There's fun with that. So a month, 2 months backpacking.
Yeah.
How many, what was the worst hostel?
Let me think. I mean,
Because it's hit and miss sometimes.
yeah, I enjoyed Amsterdam.
Bed bugs, herpes,
Yeah.
chlamydia.
Honestly, I would rather
Pink
all
eye.
of that than like the overly comfortable roommate. You know, the one that just like sits on your bed and he like lays down and he's like, "Hey man, we should hang out." I'm like, "We should not hang out."
No, this is my space, and now you've just rubbed your nutsack on my pillowcase.
I mean, I've had a lot of really bad roommates. I had this one guy that I was staying in a hostel with, and whenever, like, we would go out drinking, and then he would come back and he would piss in the trash can. But we had a wicker basket trash can.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You're pissing on the floor. He's like,
You're gonna wake up the snakes.
He's like, I'll clean it up. And I'm like, do it now. Like,
Yeah.
the bathroom's right next door. Why not just go in there? You just liked it. You like pissing on the floor. That's what you get in hostels. You get fucking wild men.
I've dated some of these type of people.
Yeah.
Piss people.
Oh, yeah. Little waterworks. Some wet work.
I don't know why. I can't even get into this. It's too personal.
This is going to get flagged on YouTube immediately.
Not even that. I was in the cancel culture before it got popular.
Yeah.
I've been trying to
When
cancel
people were still
myself.
writing letters.
Oh, I've had some handwritten letters.
Yeah?
I actually used to use a couple of them in my press kit many moons ago.
Yeah?
It was like the hate mail that I would get, especially if it was handwritten, I would use it as cover letters for jobs.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And now would the hate mail come from like doing club work or like doing like TV stuff, or what was it mostly
It was
from?
clubs.
Clubs.
It was clubs.
okay.
You got to figure this is, late 90s, early 2000s, and people were still, I'm going to write a letter to your boss type of thing.
Little comment cards.
Yeah, that was on the table too. Some of the staff would come over and go, look at what they wrote about you. And I go, oh, that's a good one. I go, can I keep that? And they're like, no, because their name is on it. I go, cross their name. They never trusted me with that. But yeah, there were some good ones. I don't really get any too direct messages from disgruntled patrons, but it's all come from, because it's very personal when you're watching my thing.
Yeah, I can imagine. I've seen it.
Yeah, you get because I see you come in the door, and I can see your face like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Yeah, dude, I get excited. I'm like, I want to hear the paint joke just for 2 minutes straight. Just
it is a special gift of wetness that I can provoke. Yeah, it really sticks with people. They do not like that wetness of it. It's very realistic, and they know. I think they're upset because I don't have any respect for the audience.
yeah.
And they know that they voted as a group that they don't like it, yet I'll continue to keep doing it. And I like Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I like to create an audience that...
But what's great about it is
I like separating people, splitting people up.
I've seen you terrify an audience, and then 2 minutes later you have them rolling, and it's just like, that's the fucking craft of it, you know.
I have to. It's a flip on it, It was my counterpoint to the pandering that I saw. People would beg for the audience to approve them immediately, and I got tired of that.
Yeah.
It's exhausting, and it was very unauthentic, and so I try and cut the head off first, and then I like to Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I like to play God.
Yeah.
I like to pull them apart and rebuild them all as me. And most of them don't make it. Some of them. But I'd say it's about 80-20.
Yeah.
But those 20 people are very upset. There's some pretty upset. But Austin's been pretty open. Like, this is the first time in 10 years I've made white women in their 20s laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, okay, here's a question. You don't pander, but will you like adjust your set depending on the audience?
Oh, I have to be very hyper aware of definitely what's going on, because it's slippery slope.
Yeah.
So they don't know it, but I'm monitoring them. I've got a wire on their pulse, and I'm doing adjustments accordingly, but it's so subtle in things that they don't even know they're getting fingered and strangled at the same time. It's like this. It's not, you eventually get comfortable.
Like last night we had a show at the Creek with, it was a veterans show, and dude, they're down for whatever.
Yeah, because they've seen whatever.
Yeah, like Adam Lucky literally called them queers for like 15 minutes straight. He's like, fucking queers, and they still laughed because they just have a good sense of humor. But then you do
because they know that if they could just change lanes, they would kill Adam. Like they just go, this is not a comedy show anymore, this is going to be a murder. And Adam goes, but I only do comedy. But hey, well, we only do murder.
Well, it's actually a mission when they're doing it, right? It's not a murder.
Mission. It's exciting.
But whereas, like, I'll do like college rooms, and it's just like fucking tight.
Why would you?
Well, I do, because here's the thing. When I was in school, I
Did
would
you go
do
to NACA?
No, I didn't do NACA, but like when I was in school, I would perform at fucking college in front of the regular people
What are you,
at college.
27 now?
25.
25.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, I found this whole group of frat boys where I'm like, oh, these guys are down for whatever. So I started reaching out to these fraternities.
Sex offenders.
Yeah, exactly. They're used to it.
Yeah.
And they're down to go wherever we want to fucking go. And so now I just book shows with colleges. So like at the beginning of March, I'm going to the University of Miami to do a show.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be doing shows at like FSU and Houston.
And you've done this independently of NACA.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Yeah.
Especially now. That's a very brave...
Yeah,
like
dude.
even because you're at a 25 year, you're still close to the age, but from being around comedians, not to mention you work at a comedy club.
Yeah.
You're in a different...
Dude.
They would not survive in your world.
No, dude.
No.
Not at all.
Upset.
Mm-hmm.
Suicides. Just...
people can't even handle bombing, let alone bombing, and then walking off, and your friends are like, dude,
Yeah.
you fucking suck at comedy. And you're like,
Yeah.
and you're just fucking around, but it's like people get in their head so much.
Yeah,
So-
university audiences. I was campus comedian of the year in Canada in
there you go.
1998, and then it stopped.
Yeah,
I had a girl come on stage and shove a beer bottle up my ass during one of the shows.
was this on purpose, or was this just she got in full of emotion and she's like,
Niagara
it was an improv show.
There's probably an article. They had their annual Christmas show, and I gained some popularity on the Canadian university and college circuit.
Yeah.
And Tom Green was starting to make a thing. So things were getting a little more licensed for outrageousness that we hadn't seen since Andy Kaufman.
Mm-hmm.
And
Was he Canadian too?
Andy Kaufman?
Yeah.
No.
Where was he from? The U.S.?
Yeah, he's American.
It's so hard to tell because he's always doing the voices, and I don't even know what the fuck he actually sounds
this
like.
conversation is exactly what he wanted.
Of course, yeah.
That's exactly what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted people to go, what is it? He's a women's wrestler. He was on Taxi. He was a busboy.
Dude, I love Taxi, man. I come from a family of taxi drivers, so like all of that shit is fucking close to home.
Do you know that he would bust tables while he was doing Taxi?
No, I did not.
Yeah. He would go over to the restaurant across the street and bust tables.
Like, did the restaurant know this? Or was he
Yeah.
okay?
He worked there part-time.
That's funny.
And people go, aren't you Andy Kaufman? And he'd be clearing tables. They go, we just saw this guy's at the height of his career. He was cleaning tables.
That's funny.
Isn't that wild?
It is wild. You don't see Kevin Hart doing that shit.
No one would do that now. The world keeps going the way it is. I'm going to be fucking looking for that. Actually, it was my last job I had was
Busting tables?
dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dude, that's another
2000.
fucking eclectic group of people. Dishwashers and line cooks. No one smokes more than a line cook,
Oh yeah, and drugs, and they're fun. They're fun. They don't have a long life expectancy.
Yeah, no, they do
Line
not.
cooks and dentists.
Yeah, well,
highest suicide rates.
Because no one wants to go to the fucking dentist,
I don't understand. I don't have hang-ups. I like my dentist is nice.
I mean, I like people putting things in my mouth, but not when they hurt.
How many people have put things in your mouth?
Are you
Is
asking?
there a circle? You said your family was cab drivers.
Exactly.
What? I used to have to take a special taxi to school.
Okay.
Government appointed taxi would pick me up and 3 or 4 other idiots and drive us to a class that was geared. It was called the SLD, slow learning disabilities.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just retarded late.
Yeah. And now, but here's the thing. I always feel like the ones that are in those classes aren't necessarily slow learners. They just don't care.
No, some of them were immigrants and didn't have a grasp of the language, so they just fucking funnel us in with sociopaths and kids who just got off a boat and now they're with these animals, these white devils. Yeah. It was terrifying. School.
So you were around a lot of immigrants in Canada?
Canada is all immigrants. Ask the indigenous people.
Yeah, well, we don't have those.
Look,
they're pretty much done.
It was on the outside. I lived in the east end which was like Italian, Serbian, Croatian.
But was it like Guinea Italian, or was it? You said it was earlier. Like
What's a Guinea Italian?
Talking
though?
like like they love the Sopranos, and they're like they talk with their hands. Hey, how you doing? Like I had a principal.
This is what's the big mob movie?
Goodfellas.
No, Scarface.
Scarface.
Yeah.
Well, Scarface was Cuban.
Yeah, I know. They adopted that mafia type of. Most of the kids would claim that they were mob kids, but they weren't.
No.
Hamilton has probably has more mobsters in the city of Hamilton than most of the country.
Interesting.
Yeah. A lot of Italians.
Dude, I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I love Italians because
I love their food.
They're fun. They they say whatever the fuck they want. Like I had a principal. He was this big Italian. His name was Vinny. And I remember my mom walked up and she's like, "Hey, Vinny, Michael's teacher."
Hey, not all Italians are mobsters.
They want to be though.
They totally want to be.
And my mom was like, "Hey, Vinny, Michael, my younger brother, his teacher keeps calling him the wrong name." And he goes, "Listen, Eileen, that teacher, he's not like you and I. He's a little fucked up. I mean, listen, he's no kid toucher, but he's not a normal guy. And also, do you really care? Do you give a fuck?"
Yeah.
And that's how he would talk, like on the radio over the loudspeaker. Instead of saying you're suspended, he would go, "You're going home." And so, like, one day it was like,
This is the principal?
The principal.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, a little bit of street talk to give you some, like, look, these guys are assholes. Don't hang out with them.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
And
But he'd say this on the speaker?
He would say that on the speaker. Like, one time he was like, it was before the homecoming dance, and he's like, he didn't want us drinking. So he's like, "Listen, if you ask to leave the homecoming dance early, you're going home." It's like, "Oh, cool. Thank you very much. That's great." Or like he would get on, he's like, "Do I go to your house and pull the paper towel dispensers off your walls?"
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
He was a wild man.
No, it was fun to see the Italian kids throw eggs at us because we were on skateboards. Yeah, there was definitely
fucking queers.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. They were 16 with mustaches and Zed IROCs. You know what I mean?
Dude, IROCs, yes.
You know, Mustang 5 liters.
Just like dunking themselves in cologne every morning.
That's global for sure. And they'd hang out in front of coffee shops with their hoods up on their car.
And they just wear vests, nothing underneath the vest, just the vest.
The cologne always gave me headaches.
Yeah.
But I had to take a bus because I slowly moved from the East End out to the outskirts of the city.
Okay.
Between in Stony Creek next to Hamilton, and Toronto's over here, and Niagara Falls this way. And so I'd have to take the city bus in the morning through the whole city into downtown Hamilton. But during that ride, Cardinal Newman, Bishop Bryan, some Burbuff, and anyway, long story short, Catholic schoolgirls.
Yeah.
They were all wearing kilts, and then I go to school with a whole bunch of dudes. So I just got taunted all the way.
Yeah.
And the dudes hated me, and the girls were like, maybe I could use him to get back at my father.
Exactly.
But then my father would kill me. Just long hair in the back of the bus with a Metallica shirt and a skateboard. Nothing's really changed that much. 30, 40 years later, still the same maniac.
Yeah, dude, I went to Catholic school, and honestly, I enjoyed Catholic school just because, like, everybody wore the same clothes. So I didn't have to think about anything. Yeah. You just go in, and, like, you'd get bullied on, like, personal things, like how you looked or your
last name, family name.
Yeah. Fucking, I'm a bunch of Irish mix in my family.
Pretty much been to Ireland?
I have. I've been to Limerick. I've been to Dublin. I've been to County Cork, where's my family from.
That's where my grandmother's from. Cork?
Yeah.
Hayes.
Oh, okay.
Last name Hayes.
Yeah, mine's. I think it was Clifford when it was there.
Okay.
But I've
never been. I've been Belfast.
Okay. And Northern Ireland.
Yeah, I've done gigs in Belfast and Galway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
but Cork was. I want to go where Grandma was from. I never made it. Maybe next year.
There's a prison in Cork that I went to visit. It's like a museum now, and they have this big book with all of the people that.
And it's an Irish prison.
It's an Irish prison.
So it's 200-year-old prison, right?
Yeah,
it's gnarly.
It's old. And it's like a big castle.
Everything's been all the iron. It's been blacksmith.
Totally. Yeah.
Jesus. Jesus.
And there was this
That's
big long
terrifying.
list of people that were prisoners in there. And I read through the book, and I found my great-grandfather came to the U.S., and he was one of 5 kids. All 4 of his siblings stayed, and they all died in that prison because they were in the IRA.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude.
How, man, you got to figure this, too. What were they, 17?
Yeah, dude.
These are kids.
Yeah.
These are children.
Blowing up the British.
Can you imagine? You're 16. They hand you a gun and go, "You better do this for the cause." And now you're doing life in prison.
In prison, yeah.
I was riding my bicycle to school, and now I am a terrorist.
Yeah, domestic terrorist.
Fuck. Yeah. So you see a name in the log.
Yeah.
And it was your
my great-grandfather's siblings.
his siblings. Did you ever talk to him about that? Did he ever
He
discuss
died
that
before
timeline?
I was born.
Okay.
But I've talked to my grandfather about it, and he goes,
Yeah.
like he came over when he was like 16, and he just started working in the at like farms in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Which, like, dude, if you come from Ireland, why go to Buffalo? It's the same fucking place.
Well, it's picking. They were pickers. That was like part of the green belt.
I guess, dude.
All
Go
the
to
way
fucking
down.
New York. Live in a tenement. Get a real job.
He knew that he could probably dealing with rural countryside was probably a little more familiar than showing up in fucking Manhattan.
I'm sure.
And being like, not to mention, I don't know, it used to be no dogs.
And
And
Irish
no
did
Irish.
not apply, yeah.
Yeah, no Irish allowed.
They used to draw Irish like monkeys because that's what they said we looked like.
It's crazy, right? They would. It's different times, New York City, a lot of people were coming off boats, and a lot of people were like, this is a locals only, but the whole Manhattan has been
Immigrants.
built.
Yeah, all of them. Which I will say, the fact that like most of my family came from the boat in Ireland, I do like, because all the fucking everyone that's so woke, they're all going through 23andMe, and they're like finding out, oh my god, my family owned slaves. I'm like, I'm chilling. My family was just starving to death in Ireland.
Yeah,
like I am.
Have you done a 23andMe?
No, I don't want that shit.
Now, my buddy's a fireman. He says they can tie you to any crime once they.
Yeah, they have your DNA, dude. Plus, like, who knows what the hell's gonna happen with clones and whatnot. Like, I don't want a little army of Jimmys just going around.
I just leave a little blood in my stool.
There you go.
And that's my little parting gift. People want to swab that.
Yeah, go for it.
The log father liveth. When did they do clone you and you just wake up in the future?
I'd hate that.
Really?
I don't want to live that long, man. 70, 75. It's good.
I'm doing 69.
69?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. That's a good age to go out with a bang.
And I want to be buried with my ankles zip tied to the back of my neck in a box. So
What are you, a turkey?
when they open me up, it looks like this guy died blowing himself in a shoebox.
When I was in high school, I had to have one of my ribs removed.
Wait,
And
Marilyn Manson?
I know, everyone's like, dude, you do it to suck your own dick? And it's like, no, wrong side. I did the upper rib rather than the lower rib. So
What did they have to do, a bone graft on you?
No, I had this thing called thoracic outlet syndrome, where the way my body grew, the first rib and the clavicle went like this, and they cut off all the blood flow. So they had to take out the first rib and then go back in and like basically snake out my veins like a pipe.
Yeah, because they've been collapsed from the pressure. The bone grow over the tissue.
Like the veins were here, and then they just kind of like grew, and it went like this, and it just like a
So here's your ribs.
Yeah.
Your spine's here.
And then the clavicle's right here, and then the veins that are going in.
Oh, the
middle.
clavicle's this little piece in the front.
No, it's this one right here,
I
like the
don't know
neck
what's going on.
bone.
I failed anatomy and basket weaving.
Yeah, the clavicle's this one right here.
Well, that's serious because your jugular runs along that too, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think the jugular's right here. So it goes down.
Where was the incision made? In your back or your front?
Right in underneath my my armpit.
A lot of girls I know have that same scar from breast implants.
Titty jobs. I was asking them, I was like, hey, just like throw some things in there. I could use some pecs, make them dance. They're like, no, it'll be double.
Little bees on your back.
Okay.
Bee cups.
On my back.
Yeah,
there we go.
Tits on your back.
So when I'm slow dancing, they can feel something to grab.
Or piggyback rides in dyke bars.
There you go, dude.
That'd be fun.
That would. I'm like a carnival act.
We're all over the place. It's been a weird day. There's snow in Austin.
Yeah,
a little bit of nervousness about
Nobody
the locals.
knows what to do.
Well, this is almost a year to the day. You said you got here the day before the snowstorm.
Day before the storm. Yeah.
So you fly from Jersey.
Drive.
You drive from Jersey. You show up here.
I hit an open mic that night.
Yeah.
And I had like an Airbnb for the one night.
Yeah.
And then I stay there. The next day, the lady's like, you got to get the fuck out. And I'm like, but isn't there like a storm happening? She's like, yeah, but your fucking time is up and you got to leave. And so I left and I basically parked in a McDonald's parking lot and sat in my car.
You knew nobody in town?
No one.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And you're sitting there going, wow, my career is really off to a hop, right? I've had those moments where like, I just did a TV show and now I'm freezing at a train station.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, this is what I signed up for. I signed up to comedy, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
And you know like, that there's a long list of comedians that have slept. You know, Leno used to sleep in the alley behind the Improv.
yeah. He used to have
I'm trying to justify this terrible.
Dude, I'm just like, maybe it'll be good for
Freezing.
the book one day. You know?
yeah.
But yeah, Leno used to sleep in the street and he would have cops come and pick him up and he would just like tell jokes in the back of the car and they would laugh.
Yeah.
And so they just kept picking him up and picking him up. And he's like, guys, can you bring me somewhere to sleep? Like,
Yeah,
I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah, you're fucking. That's the thing. Hollywood exploits talent at all levels.
all levels.
You know, even those cunts. I don't know what's happening now here in Austin.
Dude, it's none of them know what to do. I mean, they're like, oh, fucking Texan, we ain't scared of nothing. And then it's like literally 1 inch of ice and they're like, oh fuck, let's close the buildings.
It's a ghost town out there.
Businesses are closed. Like the creek is closed. Fucking
How much snow's on the ground?
None.
About my fingers
Not even that.
on a bench somewhere down
Yeah,
there.
it's ridiculous.
But it is icy.
It's a little icy, but fucking just drive slow.
They don't understand. But also the roads here are not really geared for.
The roads are shit. Honestly, I think the ice might give it a little bit more stability, if anything.
I love seeing. Well, first of all, I got to tell you something.
Let's hear it.
I've never driven a car in my life.
No shit.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, that's clearly a choice.
Yeah, I've never driven a car in my life. I love.
No interest?
I lived in LA for 13 years. I've never driven a car. I've never had a driver's license.
So what's your ID? Just like a state ID?
Green card.
Okay.
And a Canadian passport.
Yeah.
Which is actually expiring next month. I gotta get that renewed. I'm hoping to go to Europe and start touring in
Nice.
Scandinavia in June is the plan.
Oh, that'd be fun.
June and July. Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, Iceland. And then if it doesn't suck too bad, I'm going to extend it. I want to go to Poland and back to Russia.
Oh, dude, Russia would
summer.
be intense.
I bombed on a TV show in Russia. It's so
What
bad.
happened?
I don't know why I'm bragging about all the places I've tanked, but yeah, Amsterdam. I wish it was a bomb. It wasn't even a bomb. It was like, it was worse than bombing. It was silence.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't even get
Just
them angry
staring at
enough.
you?
Yes, totally stared. But Russia was a brutal one.
Yeah.
Because I had to get a visa to fly there. It was such a pain in the ass. They gave me the wrong visa. They gave me I said I was going to work. They didn't give me the work. They gave me a tourist visa.
Okay.
And I explained to them the day before that I was going there to be on television. And they gave me a tourist visa. And I'm like, my flight's in the morning. Like,
Now, why would that not work? If it gets you there, does that matter?
Oh, if it would get me there, but then they go, what are you doing here? And I'm like, here to do a TV show. And they
Yeah.
go, well, it says here you're not.
Yeah.
You're a tourist.
Mm-hmm.
You need a blah, blah, blah. But no, I got in. Fortunately, they gave me... they actually had to redo it. I think they did do it. I said, I can't leave. I paid you. And this is a big deal for me to go do this thing. And flew all the way to Moscow and got on this show. And 2 of the 3 nights were Russian, and the 3rd night was their international night with comedians, mostly Scandinavian, Swedish, and a Danish guy, and me, and I think an American guy. I couldn't figure out who it was, but anyway, that portion was all in English.
And what does the room look like? Is it a club or are you?
It was
on
like
a
as
TV
Russian
set?
as you can see. Like it was like we drove in through these alleyways and this, this is December in Moscow.
Oh,
yeah,
rough.
it's cold, but you got to think though. The culture's so like wow that of course it's snowing in Russia.
Yeah.
Like this sucks. I hate the snow, but I'm in Moscow in the winter. I'm kind of in a postcard. This is everything, the Kremlin and all that stuff we're driving around. Anyway,
do you know any Russian?
No.
Okay.
No. I know more Swedish than I know French. So
I took Russian in high school, and I only know like one sentence.
Oh, yeah. I took French in high school. I took it right out the window.
Well, you grew up in where you said?
Near Toronto.
Near Toronto. Okay.
Hamilton.
But so that's the opposite. You're not anywhere near like Montreal or Quebec.
No.
Where they actually speak French.
Oh, yeah. The next province over, but Canada is also the size of Russia. So that's like a 7-hour drive from Hamilton. Is it? And probably people are screaming now. Right now it's not. It's longer than that, you piece of shit. Do you not give us your passport back? Montreal, great city.
I've been there. A lot of fun.
Great
strip clubs in Montreal.
The best. The best in the world.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Let's say. I'm saying it. Montreal has the best strip clubs. Look, I've been to a bunch of strip clubs.
Yeah.
A bunch. Have you been to a bunch of strip clubs?
I wouldn't say a bunch.
You look like the guy... Have you been robbed at a strip club?
I have not been robbed. I mean, not yet at least.
You put your hands together like, oh, I'd love to get robbed.
Honestly, it would be a story. I'll do it for the bit. But yeah, we went. I went on a ski trip to Montreal. We went to Mount Tremblant.
Nice.
It was fun.
Yeah.
They fucking heavy drinkers there, which I appreciate.
Yeah, can you drink?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can handle it?
Fucking, it's in my family, too. Last Christmas, my grandmother got so drunk that she ranked her grandkids on order of how much she loves them.
That's, hey, honest.
Yeah, I know. It's a fucking Irish woman.
What's your drink of choice?
I think it depends on the night. Like, if it's like a lower key night, I like just beer. Nothing's better than just.
Do you need any jet fuel to keep it going?
If we're going, I can go.
Booze,
yeah.
just booze.
If we're doing booze, I can do like I love tequila shots. I go, rum and Coke, Jack and Coke, or
Coke.
Yeah,
I used to drink a lot of Coca-Cola. I've had 3. I've had 3 different drinking degrees. Mm-hmm. From like, I didn't start drinking until I was like 21.
Okay.
And then I started comedy when I was 26. Quit for 6 years. Then I moved to Europe and it was over.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah.
Day one. You couldn't even make a friend unless you were drinking in London.
Yeah, I mean, it's the culture.
No way, yeah.
They all hang out in pubs.
Yeah.
They do classes in pubs.
And that drinking in Jersey is way different than drinking in London.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, for one, it's heavy beer. Like, there's not going to get a fucking Miller Lite in a pub in London.
No. No, I don't think they even have a light beer
No, dude.
in Europe.
When I was in Europe, I just stuck with Guinness,
That's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different, too, than what you're getting here. Yeah, Guinness, it sounds silly, but it's much better.
Okay, so I follow this account on Instagram where it's just like shitty Guinness pours, and they're all from the US, and it's like,
There's
these people,
much head on.
they have no fucking idea what they're doing. I'm like, do you just not like me, or do you not care?
No, because the manager gets a managing job at a bar so that he can hire the girls he wants to fuck.
This is true. That's the American way.
Those girls have no interest in craft or their job position. They're just trying to not get fucked in the ass before the day is over.
Yeah.
So that's why when you go to the bar and you're like, this she's standing on a phone book for starters. And
she has braces. What are we doing?
Yeah. She's got a dead eye. And the manager is a sex offender.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know these people. I'm just making up terrible scenarios.
Well, I think that I learned how to drink because my freshman year of college, I went to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. That's where I went to school. And there's nothing to do in Gettysburg. Like, literally. They would just turn to me. It's like, what
about those reenactments?
Yeah, we have that. How many times are you going to fucking watch a ghost tour? There's only so many ghosts in the town. You learn about them all.
Learn how to clean a musket?
Yeah, we would just go get, a couple 6-packs and hang out on the battlefield. I'd be like sitting on a cannon and we'd just be drinking.
Yeah.
It was interesting, but like after a couple months you get over it. And like plus there was only 2,400 students in the whole school, and there were 11 fraternities and 10 sororities. So like
That's not a lot.
It is a lot for 2,400 students. That's like you and your one buddy. That's the fraternity. And so they would make you just drink in order to see like who could get into where. And so I remember one time I went to a basement of a fraternity house, and there was 30 guys, and they had 30 racks on the wall, and they said,
What's
you
a
have
30 rack?
just like fucking Bud Light, 30 pack of Bud Light, and they're like, you have 1 hour to drink all of it.
And you're like, stand back.
I know, dude. People are pounding beers, they're throwing up in the garbage can.
They don't have the DNA.
Yeah, that's what it
You
is.
came in, you're like, if I just take a deep breath, I can do this.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys are like, their hands are shaking. They might die of toxic shock.
It's my ancestors, right? All the
Yeah.
ones in the IRA. They're like, you have to live the life that we couldn't. So,
How long do you think? Because I've never seen you blow it.
blow it in what way? Like just be fucking hammered, drunk all
Yeah,
over the
like,
place?
well,
Well, it's because I know how to handle myself.
You work at the Creek.
Yeah.
You're there at least what? Let's
Every
say
night.
every night.
I don't necessarily work every night, but
But
I'm
you're there every
yeah.
night. And which is, look, first of all, you drove here from the East Coast,
Mm-hmm.
25. World is Armageddon.
Yep.
Austin's the biggest thing in comedy in the world.
Yes.
And you work at a comedy club.
It's literally...
It's a win-win. Isn't
Dude,
it
it's
nice?
the perfect life for me. Like literally,
It's perfect.
I tell people will call me and they're
Below
like,
the poverty line.
they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I have fun every single night with
Yeah.
like the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life. Like
Yeah,
there's
you're in a
nothing,
tree fort with your friends.
literally, and that's our job. Is like our job is to sit around at home and just write dick jokes.
And not only that, you've come from a serious business of New York City.
Yeah.
You get here, these guys don't have a fucking clue
know,
what's
dude.
going on.
Not at all. It's
not even a
incredible.
clue. They're just bumping
Yeah.
into each other,
Yeah.
going through their growths.
Yep.
And you're just like, oh my God. You guys don't even know what's gonna
Dude, you know what-
happen here.
You know what's very funny is like hearing some of the new comics here in Austin.
Oh, God.
Talk about like killing. Like there's this one dude. He's like, dude, I kill every time, and it's just like, oh, you don't even know what killing is. Like you've never seen a killer before.
No. They
have
don't know.
No idea.
They don't know.
Like you have
they
one
don't
joke
know.
that works. You know that good for that, but
No.
like,
They don't know.
Watch it tell.
You can tell too, right?
Yeah.
You can tell. You're like, oh, okay. Because, those 10 plus years in LA, I lived 40-minute or less walk to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And clearly you look at their Instagram and go, everybody on here, 20 deep,
Yeah.
every night is murderers.
Yeah.
And they have to go on after murderers.
I know. Yeah.
So and so's got to go after blah blah blah, and all these guys are at the top of their game. They don't know.
They don't. They're like, this guy's like, dude, I killed in this coffee
No.
shop, and I'm like, really? How many like people fell on the floor laughing?
Yeah,
Because if that
physical harm from laughter. Did anybody?
No.
I heard people coughing
they
during.
would, yeah, they're like, ha 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 ha, nice.
Yeah, there's that's not enough.
No.
It's not enough. And that's the thing, though. You've already done the gauntlet to a certain degree in Manhattan. These guys are going to go, well, fuck Austin. I'm going to go to New York
They're
and
gonna
show.
get their dick kicked in is what's gonna happen, dude.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna walk up, they're gonna be like, yo, so like, give me a spot, like
Bullied. Bullied. Maliciously.
yeah. Oh man.
And there's sub-tribes to it of unfunnies.
Yeah. I
But,
mean, maybe they could do it in Brooklyn, but like, I don't
Yeah.
know about Greenwich, right?
It's not going to fly. You're going to get your ass handed to you,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're going to claim whatever.
Bad crowd.
Yeah, or
I hate
they
when people
don't.
say
They
that
don't
shit.
like the type of comedy I do.
No.
Well, maybe you should find a group of people who are not into funny.
Yeah, exactly.
See how many people pay tickets to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love seeing those. Like, oh no, I don't even know where to stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they have no idea. But it's going to be fun to see the public executions. they're going to be here. I suggest, because comedy's kind of seasonal. Summer, everyone's going to be kind of hopping around trying to find their cliques.
Yep.
And this isn't a team sport.
Nope.
So when they find their team shows up and they go, well, come on, guys, we're going in. And the guy at the door goes, no.
No.
Chop.
Just right at the legs.
Yeah, just mutilation to your ego that they've never had. It's called truths.
Yeah, dude, that's how I started. So I started doing open mics in New York and just going up and eating a dick, and then like, you know,
You have to pay it.
well, that's
in
the
some of
thing.
these
No one
places.
tells you. So when you go online and you're looking at like open mics in New York and you're first starting comedy, all you see are these mics where it's like $5 for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I would go up, I'd pay $5. Every time a comic would perform, they would immediately leave, go to
Yeah.
do another mic. So if you're at the end of the list, which typically the host puts up their friends first anyway.
yeah.
So I'll be doing like my 5
And
minutes.
pays his friends out of your pocket for coming in to boost their lineups.
Yeah, I know. And so I did a show. What wasn't even a show? It was a mic one time, and there was 2 people in the audience, one comic and the host. And then the comic got up while I went up on stage, left, and then the host was just sitting on his phone the whole time. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, I paid to be here. This
Yeah.
is pointless. I would have been better off just in my living room.
And not to mention that they fly, or this is what I remember, is they get people to come in and they think they were going to see Jim Gaffigan.
Well, it's because they tell them Jim Gaffigan's inside.
I know. He's on the flyer.
And then they get in and they see my ugly mug, and they're like, who the fuck is this?
Is that his daughter?
I know.
Yeah, I remember seeing that because I'd Giannis Pappas.
Mm-hmm. Great, hilarious.
He used to stay on my couch.
Okay.
In Toronto when we met in college.
Okay.
I was in a Toronto. Yeah, I know.
You went to Canada for school?
Hold on a second.
Okay. Okay.
So, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
I went to. I got a scholarship to a college that was for writing and performing, and it was the first of its kind. And they had a sister program in New York. Stephen Rosenfield
Okay.
was one of the teachers in the program.
Cool.
Who was a very nice man. He
Yeah.
actually came to Toronto and did some of the program. I'd already had an hour television special and won like an Emmy award for it. And now I'm in college trying to learn how to scripts.
Yeah.
I want to learn the language of television. I'm
Sure.
make a movie or something.
Yeah.
Learn some things. And at the end of the program, the big finale was an industry showcase at Caroline's in Stand Up New York.
Yeah.
So the schools from the New York program and the Canadian program met for the first time a week before the showcase, and we took all our best stand-up and sketches and put a Saturday Night Live style show together with the New York program and the Toronto
Yeah.
program. Well, immediately you start,
This guy's funny.
Yeah. Well, I was in somewhere in Manhattan in those New York elevators that can maybe hold 4 people.
Yeah. And then it
feels
still
like,
shakes.
Yeah, this feels like someone's pulling up by a chain. Well, I don't really have a lot of respect for authority.
Yeah. Oh, really? I didn't know that about you.
And I felt that this isolation and this structure was not thing. And you ever corner a skunk with a broom?
Yeah.
Well, I pulled down my pants to my knees and leaned up against the elevator and farted and no one could get off the elevator, and that's where me and Giannis, he was crying like, who is this fucking guy? We were been friends ever since.
Now, was he still doing that? What is it? The Puerto Rican woman character?
This is 2000.
Yeah.
He was doing a sneaker kid.
Okay.
He do this White Sean character.
Yeah.
White Sean. He's
I love his characters.
yeah,
dude.
he's very good. I initially, he's like, I'm gonna do sketch comedy. I'm like, I guess we can't hang out anymore. You just told me you rollerbladed here. It ain't gonna happen. So he was doing shows with Darnell.
Yeah.
And started to gain some traction, but he was, he was gonna be I don't know, a sketch guy or something. But
He's way too wild to be a sketch guy.
no, he's got his stand-up
He's in his blood.
nailed it, and he's didn't do sketch. He did character-based driven stuff but he'd been doing that since Go. So
Yeah.
we did did you ever see the thing that Jim Norton, Bill Burr, and he did one, me, Jim Norton, Bill Burr, and what's his name? New York guy. Anyway, he did. Jim Norton was in a porn booth.
I don't think I saw this. No.
It's on YouTube. Ditch Films.
Okay.
So Ditch Films was Jesse and Giannis, and they lived in Park Slope in Brooklyn there. And Giannis would come to Toronto, do shows, and I'd go to New York and stay with him, and vice versa. We'd just switch it up.
Yeah.
And they were doing stand-up segments, routines, but done in different places. So Jim Norton had a porn booth. Bill Burr was in a children's playground. Ran about kids, and then Jim was doing a thing about pornography. I did a thing in a bathtub naked where I was drinking shampoo. And it was like a bipolar character I was doing.
Yeah.
And it was disturbing. You got
I can imagine.
so all I did was drink Heinekens in his bathtub, and I wonder if it's still online because my cock is all over the internet. That video I sent you, that's on YouTube.
That's so funny.
Isn't that weird?
That's so funny.
It's so there. Not my best wiener day, by the way. Not yeah, this is probably around that time that... Is it there? Yes. So this is in Giannis's bathtub.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it was all this a series that he did called Comedy to Go.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So anyway,
Oh my God.
yeah, and it was about a guy. Anyway, I can't remember. It was very mental and stuff like that. But yeah, that was a good time hanging out. I remember going and seeing Russell Peters at the what's the big
Fucking killer.
what was it? What's the big fucking
The Beacon?
no bigger the
Radio City?
no bigger.
Bigger than Radio City?
the
MGK,
biggest-
Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, he did Madison Square Gardens. I think was the first time. That was interesting. I never even been in that building before, and to see a stand-up
Yeah.
comedy in there and go, wow, comedians are really doing some fucking. When the guy's this big on the stage,
Yeah.
when they need screens, that's when you made it.
I saw Sebastian do Madison Square Garden in the round, and it was just like wild to think you can control this many people with just your voice, you know? Because like when
wild.
you see a rock show, it's like-
Witchcraft.
yeah, like fucking, I'm a big Bruce guy, right? Like Bruce Springsteen from Jersey, but like he's got a fucking huge band. He's got saxophone, trumpet,
Yeah.
a couple guitars, a couple different keys, whereas fucking Sebastian, one mic.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Can you? Yeah, that's great too because you're look. Slipknot has a lot bigger crew than Sebastian.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot more paychecks got to go out on a deal like that. Comedy's such the return on it. It's such a minimal production.
Literally, you need one mic and that's
Yeah.
it. And the problem is, even at shows here, sometimes you don't even get that. So,
Yeah, again, you showing up here going, are you telling me no one thought to bring the microphone? You guys been doing this show. You said it's your 10th year anniversary? It's crazy, right? Do you get on the phone with your friends?
they don't believe me when I tell them these stories.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with comics in the sense that they want to do shows where there should not be shows. You know, like, oh, we're doing shows at a...
It's all bragging rights. Nothing's happening. You're not doing anything. Nothing stuck.
Yeah.
You alienated everybody. Anyway.
They're like, I have a show. I'm like, oh, cool. Where's your show? They're like, it's in a parking lot of a library. And I'm like, I don't know if that's a show.
Yeah, that's not really...
That's you yelling at children is what that is.
And then you get good at parking lot shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're the killer. The guy kills in parking lots next to the mailbox and the dog shit.
Yep. Just gets honks.
Well, that was Canadian show business. Park shows during COVID. Well,
Like people are in their cars.
no, like unsanctioned, illegal.
Oh, okay.
Not illegal because it was freedom of speech based, but we're getting like there was probably close to 600-700 people were showing
Wow,
up
that's
for
awesome.
these shows, and all the donations went to pay for legal fees and stuff for people that were getting charged.
And who's running this? Like the clubs, or is it just
No,
individual
all the
comics?
comedians
Yeah.
started to put together outdoor events and stuff, but a lot of them collapsed and chickened out. But A few people stuck it out, and yeah, now we're here.
Now we're here, the land of the free.
What's your plan? You're clearly having a good time.
I'm having a lot of fun. Basically, I don't know. I don't really believe in like the traditional route anymore of like, oh, you got to go.
Those bridges sunk.
Yeah. Like that's not how it works anymore. So, you know, I have my podcast. I make sketches. I do a lot of online content, do like TikTok shit, and just kind of build an audience there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make people come out to the shows.
100%. And it's not like it didn't work for some people.
Yeah.
A lot of people were filling up theaters based off of. I remember a friend of mine out of England was telling me he was selling all these theaters out through Snapchat.
Yeah. Truly.
And even in Iceland, they were like, you got to start promoting on Snapchat while you're here in Iceland. And I'm like, what? They go, yeah, it's like it's the biggest thing here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's just wild to think that like you don't need any of those people that seem to make themselves like before.
No, but you never
up,
did.
Exactly.
You never did.
Everyone was like, "Oh, you need a manager, you need an agent."
Nope.
It's like, no, you don't. They're fucking vampires.
You need a smartphone, an internet connection, and some balls.
Yeah, 100%.
And then once your balls get big enough, you get a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you need is a good lawyer.
Yeah, truly.
That's it.
Look at guys like fucking Tim Dillon, you know, Andrew Schultz. Did you hear what Schultz actually?
2-man wrecking crews.
Literally.
2-man wrecking
Rogan
crews.
is literally him and Jamie. That's it.
Yeah.
Fucking Schultz was going to Canada. And did you hear about this story?
Massey Hall.
Yeah.
And then he sold out 2 shows in a bigger venue, I think. Yeah.
Because they were like, we don't want that material on our stage.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fucking jerk me off.
They have no idea what I did in the green room at that because I played that theater twice. And do you want to hear a funny Massey Hall story?
I do want to hear a funny Massey Hall story.
Well, every year there's a New Year's show. Coincidentally, my birthday is on December 31st.
Okay.
So, Massey Hall. My girlfriend from England is Estonian girl who's in Canada, and I don't even know. I'll never forget that. I can't even talk about this.
The statute of limitations isn't up yet.
I can't. Loose lips sink ships.
Yep.
Anyway, the bitch throws a fucking glass of wine against the wall because I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do.
Yeah.
In the Massey Hall, but yeah, I fucked a bunch of people in that place. Yeah, and it was all unsanctioned. And if they heard, they wouldn't have me back there either.
Well, at least you didn't do jokes about transgenders, so
is that what the issue was?
I think that's what the problem was. Yeah, he did joke. You know, he's a joke where he says the word tranny, and people they get their panties in a twist.
Tranny panties.
Yeah. What I find so ridiculous about the whole thing is like, I mean, you heard about the Patton Oswalt, Dave Chappelle thing, right?
Sure.
What I don't understand is like, you're doing a theater, right? You have this audience, you post a photo with Chappelle, and then everyone gets angry at you. So you throw Chappelle under the bus. At no point did it occur to him that Chappelle he had sold out an arena. Like, you're trying to make this little group of people that get angry happy, and you're going to spike the arena.
Group. I don't think there's actually a group.
It's just online because they don't leave their house.
That's not even a group.
Yeah, no, they don't. They're not buying tickets. I'll tell you that much.
I want to see these fuckers face to face. Plus, all the fucking fags I know have a sense of humor.
Yeah, truly though. If you ever been through like some actual traumatic things, then you know that.
I don't think this is a gay or straight issue. Trans or otherwise. I think this is I just picture old dykes, like old dykes sitting on their porch like old cowboys.
Yeah.
Going, these kids today,
they don't know.
They don't know. We were
at Stonewall. We know what this shit is.
We're beaten, but everyone's pussied out. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Pussied out. Is that offensive?
I don't think so.
I just pictured somebody. You ever like take a core out of an apple?
Yeah.
That's what a pussy out would be. Just a clam shack.
Yeah, exactly. Just
pussy out. Oh, like a top chop.
Little top chop, yeah.
I remember those. They're good for cutting weed.
Are they? Interesting.
You don't smoke the pot, though.
No, not particularly.
How fat have you gotten drinking?
Well, my problem is I'm the type that likes to drink on an empty stomach, so I haven't really gotten that big.
25, lucky you.
Yeah.
No blackouts?
No, because I know how to drink, right? I'm not gonna mix things.
If I could have your magical powers
Yeah.
again, because I did have them.
Yeah, the worst I ever did was I drank 4 Locos in 24 hours, and this was the old recipe when before it became like pussy. Like people,
Are
it
you
was
just a
giving people.
piss factory when you drink,
Yeah,
though? Because that's
for
a
sure.
lot of liters of liquid.
It is. Dude, and I'll tell you, when I was in Florence, in Italy, they sell beer by the liter. Like, it's liters
Yeah.
in not a pint glass, it's fucking a liter.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is aggressive.
Is
But
it hot the time you get to the bottom? Because I've drank.
now the time I get to the bottom, I'll tell you that much.
Do you puke? Oh no, there's no food in the stomach.
No, there's no
Empty
food.
stomach.
Yeah, I'm a smart man,
But if you do vomit, you get that bile coming up on you.
Yeah. Yeah. The problem is when you do that, it's like you'll throw up and it's just like gagging. You're like,
And you can swallow it.
yeah, I'm trying
I'll
to.
run that hot dog through again.
I've never been in a situation where it's like, the trope where you're like, oh, I'm so hungover and I'm throwing up all over the place, and you're like praying to God, like, I'll never drink again. I've never had that.
Yeah, because you're 25.
Yeah, but
You're half my age.
I've done some work.
This
though.
is a best case scenario.
Yeah.
For substance abusers, is me. I'm the end of the line. I'm the last
Well,
stand.
this is what I'll say. I care about drinking so much that I'll never let it become a problem.
Good for you. That's
Yeah.
the difference between professionals and amateurs. But you
Yeah.
enjoy the social aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't.
Opposed to you're not medicating.
No, like if I'm at home by myself, I won't drink. But like if I'm at a bar, I'll have a beer or two, and I can also leave it at that. I can have like 1 or 2 and then be done. I don't have to go like balls to the wall every time.
We're over explaining this because you're surrounded by alcoholics
I
all
know.
the time.
That's the problem. Is there's so many people
are fucking up.
Dude, I had this one guy walk up to me the other day and he's like, hey man, you run a show at Poor Choices. I would love to do that show. And I'm like, I like you, but I don't really trust you. You get really fucked up and I don't really want to put you on the stage. And he goes,
Yeah.
no, dude, like I don't drink anymore. And I was like, bro, there's a beer in your hand right now.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, this is just social drinking. Like I only do ketamine now. And I'm like, what? That's worse.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't know that's worse is
Yeah.
worse.
Why don't you try and be present enough to entertain a group of people with
write
some
a joke.
ideas?
Write
Yeah.
a fucking joke.
No, I think there's a lot of people that are hanging around. That's again, New York. There's no fat. You get pushed out in a minute.
Well, because they don't want you around.
No,
They're like, dude, I got
No.
some shit to do. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
They're bopping like you do one set, then you run across the street, do another set, uptown, do another one, and like, fucking. I remember
If these guys have one good set a week.
Yeah,
It's it. Oh, it's great. I can't wait for the Dragons to come to town.
they're coming.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have friends from New York that are like, dude, what's Austin like? And I'm like, come by. If I can have a couch, stay
Yeah.
on. Come on, see
Yeah.
it. And they all love it.
Yeah, and you definitely bring some New York guys out here.
Yeah.
Because there's some look. It's New York. I lived there. I lived in Williamsburg.
I did too.
Did you?
2 years. Yeah.
I lived there for about a year.
I did 3 years in the Bronx and 2 years in Williamsburg.
The snowstorm hit that
Okay.
year. That where there was like 6 feet of
Yeah.
snow. This is 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
More? I don't know. But no, and then I moved to California. The shit lips. That was a fucking. I can't believe that. But it was only 6 months out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd only stay in Hollywood. 7 months, sometimes even 8 months, if there wasn't enough outside of North America to make me interested.
Yeah.
It's exciting this year. What do you like? What do you think's going to happen with all your years of experience?
All my years of experience. What do I think is going to happen? I think Rogan's going to open up his club. Yeah. Everyone's going to try to, like, all the, people that are doing spots now are going to try to audition there, get a door guy gig or whatnot.
And sorry to interrupt, but when that happens, then you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
And then that's going to push all the shit right out the bottom.
Yeah.
The plunger is coming.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's good because like that's what makes you stronger, right? Like I don't want to be around a bunch of shit comics. I would rather be like with the funniest people in the fucking world because then that's gonna make you funnier. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be like, God damn, like
level up, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's like Quentin Tarantino said.
Get your game tight.
You could run with slow people and then you'll win every time, or you could run with the fastest and then you'll lose, but your time will continue to get better. And that's all I care about is I just want to be the fucking funniest comedian I can be.
Give me a chance to fail.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. Fuck
and
yeah.
showing up is most of it.
And I think until Rogan opens the club, a lot of people aren't going to be giving Austin the consideration that it necessarily deserves. Because I think that, like, the audiences here are fucking fun, dude.
They're great.
They're willing to go.
Austin, you're a great audience. They're very good.
Yeah.
I'm digging it, honestly. It's
Like-
the first time, you know,
It's just, it's a city of people that want to see live performance.
in
on all
forms.
levels, yeah.
All forms of it. Yeah. Hey, how many, look at every bar's got live bands. Mm-hmm. And just music in general.
Yeah.
I like people that like going to concerts.
Okay, yes, 100%. I don't understand people that don't like concerts. Like my entire life, whenever I made any money, I would just spend it on concerts. And I've seen some of, like, you know, my heroes. Some of them have been disappointing.
First concert?
First concert ever was the Foo Fighters with Dave Grohl.
Oh, great.
It was on the beach of Asbury Park, and then after they finished their set, the helicopter landed behind the stage, and they jumped off, hopped on the helicopter, flew to New York, did Saturday Night Live. I ran home and watched them again on TV. It's fucking cool.
I ran into Cameron Diaz in the elevator at SNL.
Oh yeah?
And I mean, like, almost walked into her, because now I'm like, she just finished Charlie's Angels.
Oh, dude, that was a fucking
And-
solid time.
Tom Green was hosting
Yeah.
Saturday Night Live, and I'd auditioned for it that week. So I'm like, just what the fuck? I'm in New York, and Cameron Diaz just like, and again in that small, what is it? 30 Rock.
Yeah, 30 Rock.
SNL's at 30 Rock.
Yeah.
Small elevator, but yeah, Cameron Diaz. I wanted to smell her hair or
Oh,
something.
it's fucking, I don't think there's ever been a more beautiful woman than Cameron Diaz from the movie The Mask.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Oh my God.
Not my type.
What's your type?
Vagina.
Yeah, well, then that's your type.
I don't think I have a type.
I like, typically, I like.
We were talking about this before
yeah.
we fired at the mics. You like 70-year-old elderly women.
Do you know what the thing is? I realized, dude.
You didn't even say no.
I don't. Listen. All I'm saying is, I realized this after leaving Jersey is that I'm attracted to Jersey women, which is
Beat
a
up.
very specific type. And the problem
Old
is,
boxers with
yeah,
lipstick.
dude. But outside of Jersey, that type is just whore. You know, like
Yeah.
that's what they look like. Big hair, a lot of makeup, like you know,
But Texas has got some of that.
a little
it's
bit
styly.
more Dolly Parton than
Yeah.
Jersey Shore. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
They're real trash.
Yeah.
In Jersey. They've got a very...
I I like Jewish girls. I like Japs,
Mm-hmm.
and I say that here, and people are like Asians, and I'm like, no, Jewish American princess.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the same. But yeah, you know, Latinas. I like little thick Latinas.
First of all, you ain't turning down shit. You're 25.
Of course not. But you know, if I had a preference, if it was a buffet, I'm a little.
Look at it. If I knocked the menu out of your hand, you'd
Yeah.
still eat whatever was coming
That
out of
is
the
very,
kitchen.
very, very true.
Yeah, I fucked everybody.
Yeah.
A bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just going through the Rolodex, you're like, yeah, got them all.
That's why I traveled.
Yeah. Oh, that's the great thing about traveling is you can like meet all these cool, weird, interesting people, and also you learn a lot. You know.
Yeah, but how women that are much more attractive to you will fuck you out of boredom.
Yeah. Also, the fact that you know I'm American and I'm in Amsterdam, they're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, you kind of almost Dutch-ish. You're
I can look it. Yeah.
Yeah, you could be Dutch. You're like a short guy in Holland.
Yeah, Scandinavian. It's the pale skin. You know, it's that pale skin and the endless appetite for beer. I guess.
It's definitely in your genes, but old Jersey broads.
Dude, I like. Well, not necessarily old, but like definitely, like you know, there's always
50?
something. I would go 50. Yeah, I would probably go up to 65. I think. Yeah, dude, I would. If she's a good 65,
Yeah.
like Helen Mirren.
I'm not hating.
Oh, dude, I think she's 80, but I would fucking knock the
Who's Helen Mirren?
Helen Mirren. She's in a ton of stuff. She's like the old British lady. She has white hair.
Sexy though, right?
Super sexy. Yeah.
Isn't Keanu Reeves hasn't? Oh, his missus is older.
Wait, she's actually younger than him, but she just looks older.
No.
Yeah, she has white hair, and that's why everyone thinks that she's so fucking old, but she's younger than him.
No way.
It's just like,
She looks like a hot old broad.
yeah. Well, I mean, she's 45,
Also
but like,
Canadian, by the way, Keanu.
Keanu's Canadian?
Yep.
Oh, dude, he's
Kicked
one
out
of the
of
good
acting
ones.
school in Toronto
For what?
for being a great actor.
Dude, I love Keanu, man. Fucking
Yeah.
Point Break. Are you kidding me?
Dude, the guy is fucking the shit.
Yeah.
I think if there's any... Look, first of all, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Excellent.
George Carlin was in it.
Yeah, dude, he was
great.
in the trench coat.
Yeah.
In the booth.
No, I'm a fan. The guy's a legend. He's
Also,
cool as shit, right?
apparently he's a super good dude too.
I heard. He
Yeah.
rides the subway in Toronto.
Yeah.
He rides the subway, or has.
He does the same thing in New York.
Yeah?
Yeah, there was one. I heard a story where he was on a flight from, I think, San Francisco to LA, and the flight got canceled. And so what he did was he rented a 32 passenger bus, and he told all the people on the flight, he goes, hey guys, if you want to come with me, you can hop in this bus for free and we'll drive to LA together. And then he just sat on the speaker and played games with them the whole ride.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's like that.
Oh, dude, Bill Murray's one of my favorites. I read
Yeah?
so many stories about Bill Murray. He's incredible.
Yeah.
He'll like walk up behind people in New York, put his hands over their eyes and go, guess who? And then they'll freak the fuck out because it's New York City and there's
Yeah,
crazies.
yeah.
They'll see it's Bill Murray and he'll go, no one will ever believe you. And then he turns and runs away.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
No, I heard a story of him getting in a taxi, and he asked the taxi driver if there's anything that he could do right now in his life, what would he do? He said, I'd play my saxophone. And where's your saxophone? It's in the trunk. So he got in the back seat, played saxophone while Bill Murray drove his taxi around.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
But there's countless videos of him showing up at weddings and stuff like that. Yeah, I love that stuff. Well, there's really
That's using
living
fame
it.
to your advantage. Like you're having fun with it like you should be.
I think the guy was just into having fun no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think those type of people would be doing this shit if the camera was on them or not.
Yeah, truly.
Simply as the no one will believe you thing is great because that's happened.
Oh, 100 times. Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
Oh, congratulations.
No. 13 abortions.
Oh, good for you.
No.
Was the 13th one free? It was like a little checking card, like you had a...
Turned out I was just constipated.
Oh, there you go.
What are you doing tonight? You got shows in this ice storm?
No, dude, everything's fucking shut down tonight.
Yeah.
Normally I have a show at Poor Choices,
much
but the
snow.
bar closed. So nothing tonight.
You do a weekly show at Poor Choices?
Yeah.
Is that the one on the roof?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's tough.
It's tough. I mean, I try to get people to show up, and we do get good audiences, but the problem is, like, sometimes
They don't shut down the fucking shit in
they
the
don't
back.
turn down the music underneath.
No.
The TVs are on in the
They're not
back.
in the
I'm like, can you
comedy.
guys help me out a little bit?
No, because they're in the booze.
Yeah.
They're not in the laughs.
That's literally the guy that owns it. He's like never gone to the show. He just looks at like, what are the drink sales? And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, the show's doing really well. People keep laughing. They come back. So
Can't you find a better venue? Something with a roof? How long?
guess.
You've been there for what? 6 months?
I've been there for about 6 months. Right now it's working. I don't necessarily. I'm not looking for anywhere else because it's also a good spot in terms of like it's right on 6th Street. Plus, I get the bar pays me, which I don't know how many other spots are going to pay me on top of letting me sell tickets.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Fuck, anybody making money in comedy nowadays is a hero,
Yeah.
especially on a weekday.
And what's nice is I like to be able to run a show because I put my friends up because it's with a spot like the Creek, it's harder for a lot of newer comics to get on. Whereas like some of the guys that I see are fucking really funny.
Yes.
and they just need to be put in front of like a real audience
When
rather
they
than
don't
just
have any
open mics.
They don't have any friends.
Yeah.
So they show up, but that's the thing though, and that's what happens is everyone keeps putting on their mediocre friends.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody that's actually a seasoned comic or had a few years under their belt out of New York is literally a decade ahead of what they're doing here.
Totally. Like I put
should be
Benkus
on
up on the
stage.
show all the time, and he always fucking kills. Like that dude is just a pro. Like he knows what he's doing. But my favorite thing to do is when I put on like a new comic in town, and they kill it.
Yeah.
Like they do a really good job, and you can tell that they're fucking excited. I'm excited. The audience is pumped. It's sick. Plus, I'm big into the film stuff, so I do a lot of film work, and I tape the shows every single week, which helps me figure out, oh, this isn't working. This is a better way to tape it, and I've been getting a lot better at taping shows.
Yeah. Are they for your own references?
Yeah, I don't even necessarily post them. I just like watching game tape,
Yeah. No, listen. the first 4 years of my career, I walked around with a camcorder.
Yeah.
I bought a VX 2000 skateboard camera.
Yeah.
But I had some high 8 cameras and stuff before that. So I have boxes at my mother's house of my entire career for the first 4 years, all on tape. So from my first performances up until 2004. So 96 to 2004, all my shows are on tape.
That's awesome. Because there's so many comics
But
now.
I watch them. Like,
But yeah, 'cause-
I just watch and kind of, okay. But I also used to set the camera up off stage so I could get a read on what the audience was reacting to and who was falling short of. And that's how I learned how to. I can talk here, but I'm really paying attention to what's over my shoulder.
And that's what the craft is knowing that and being able to play around with that.
Or dealing with, anyway. Poor Choices every week.
Yeah, every Thursday.
Every Thursday here in Austin, Texas. And where can people find you on the internet?
People can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all that is just The Jimmy Clifford.
The Jimmy Clifford. You got a very show business name.
Yeah, people say, they're like, is that a stage name? I'm like, no. It's the name.
People ask if my name is an abomination.
Yeah, Jason Rouse.
And they're right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
We would like to see most of the human race killed off because it is unworthy. It is unworthy of the gift of life.
I don't care what society thinks. They're nothing anyway. They're no better than me.
Until we hear the safe word, we will not stop.
Have you ever thought what it would be like to see a person's head amputated? Think of things so horrible that the human mind cannot imagine them. See all this and more when you see on stage, in person, that crazy mix-up.
I like being set apart from people. I like to be hated.
Safe word with Jason Rouse.